Ma, 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 ma. Am I Ryan? Am I a bearded Ryan? Ooh, purr.
Come on, Sharpay.
Come
We are
on.
live.
Come on, live. Welcome to the Fallout post-apocalyptic edition and day after eviction edition, where we give you the fallout of all of your favorite reality TV shows. I'm Logan Murphy.
I'm Jordyn Lagace, also known as Big Brother Canada Source.
And we are here the day after the second eviction of BBCAN 9. Jordyn, how you doing today, love?
I'm doing better. Last night after the episode, I needed to find a happy place because this is getting absolutely ridiculous in this Big Brother Canada house.
Very that. Well, before we get into anything, if you're watching live on YouTube or after the fact, make sure you are liking and subscribing to Jordyn's channel. If you are listening to us wherever podcasts are available, make sure you are subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all of those amazing, wonderful things. And with that, let's get into this eviction episode the day after. So we're going to start, we're going to go through the episode from last night, and then we do have some live feed spoilers, a little bit of live feeds from today, which is different for a Thursday eviction episode. We're not going to go into a whole lot because I think nominations are about to happen within the hour, I believe. But yeah, we'll give you a little bit of the tea about what's happening, who's going where, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to start with, we get into the episode. Kiefer has just used the veto on himself. Rohan has just been nominated in his place. So we have Josh and Rohan going up against each other. And we get a DR from Ro talking about how he's working closest with Kyle, Tina, and Tara, and thinks he has those votes locked down. And then he also thinks he has Kiefer and LaToya. Jordyn, what do you think about that?
I think there was way too much flappy.
Way too much.
Way too much. Oh, way too much.
Yeah. And we'll get into all of the flipping and the flopping and the flopping and the flipping and the flip flops and the shoes and the sandals and the shenanigans. We also get a DR from
he is starting to get the villain edit that he also desired. I'm very interested to see what he's going to do the rest of this game. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if Rohan actually becomes the villain, I'd be interested to see it, because now that, spoiler alert, Josh has been evicted, we don't really have a true sort of like villain presence within the house. So I'm interested to see if he actually starts filling that, if someone else starts filling that, which we'll get into when we go to live feed spoilers. We do also get a DR segment with Josh talking about how he's the lone wolf and targeting Austin if he moves forward, which unfortunately did not happen because Josh did not move forward. And then we do get a hot tub experience moment with Jed kissing Beth, and we get Ty being a little jealous.
I mean, that was ballsy.
This throuple is just no.
I did not think we would be getting a throuple this season, but it looks like it's unfolding.
I thought we would have gotten a throuple with some of the queer people, but apparently it's just all the straights.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little chaotic for me. And then after all of the never have I ever, the steamy hot tub makeout, she's playing both boys, which is never going to bode well for this is throwing me back. And even this is throwing me back to throuple vibes of Miss Liza Stinton playing Tom, and I think it was Peter.
I believe so.
And that did not end well. So I do not see this ending well.
No, Liza was evicted because of it.
Yeah. And I could see that playing true to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we got the TikTok walls segment. What do you think of the TikTok walls segment?
You know what? I love that we get TikTok as a sponsor this season. Like, that's fucking fierce. So yeah, they got my favorite one was, I just like to look at Anthony Poutine Poppy. So like I was watching and not trying not to go all over the place with it. But I love that there's just like this random TikTok wall. I'm interested to see if we get some like TikTok based veto comps in the future, because they do normally do like a veto comp around like the bigger, or an HOH even, with like the bigger sponsors of the season. So I'm interested to see if we get a TikTok veto comp, and if so, like what that's going to be.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a dance of some kind.
Imagine if a veto comp is they have to learn a freaking TikTok dance. I would be gagged.
I watch it be something Kiefer has to do.
Oh, probably. Or it's like a task or something.
Yeah.
They already have the rap, so we might as well do a TikTok dance with it.
Watch us talk. I'm just tweeting out so people know that we're live.
Oh yes, come join us live. If you're here,
come join the chat.
Period. Okay. But yeah, so we do get into the start of like the controversy of the week, which is the start of this vote flip-flops shenanigans, and we see emphasis on most of the Sunsetters coming together, with Jed and Kiefer trying to flip the vote, and LaToya being like, absolutely not, this doesn't do anything for my game. And then we see a later conversation with LaToya and Tina, because Tina was the one person that wasn't in this hot tub discussion of the initial vote flip, and Tina is saying that she doesn't like to be dictated, and that she feels on the bottom of the six, and that this vote flip could expose the six.
Yeah. I personally think they should have just flipped the vote.
Mm-hmm.
They had Rohan weak. He was in a position where he could have left. And I think, honestly, they should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
I also see the beginnings of the Sunsetters falling apart.
I'll get to that in the live feed spoilers, because yes.
Tina feels at the bottom. Did you mention that?
Yeah, I talked about how Tina was saying, I think it was in her DR, saying that she feels on the bottom of the six.
I kind of want to say that I think that is absolutely a possibility that she's at the bottom of it, because LaToya, Jed, and Ty are like this. They're thick as thieves. So I could see her being at the bottom of it. But I also think she's smart enough to know that If she is at the bottom, she's going to need to turn on them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's talk about the fact that Josh started a little bit of chaos. He played into
Mm-hmm.
Jed's ego and used it against him. What did you think of all that?
I
And
loved
how it
it.
was so easy.
I mean, it was more gameplay in 1 week than we saw in all of BB All
The
Stars
first
2 in the
week.
US. So,
Yeah.
and the first week. But yeah,
Yeah.
I loved seeing
I
it.
loved how easy it was.
Absolutely, yeah. And that leads us into the house meeting, which was uneventful.
That house meeting felt more like a roast of Josh.
And not even a good roast. It's like a half-hearted roast that you pay like
Feeling
$5
all
to go
sort
see
of
and no
threatened
one's good.
by. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like watching a horror try to roast the house.
Oh, not the Ahura reference. If y'all watch Drag Race UK, you know. If you know, you know. Um, but yeah, then we get this conversation with Josh, Tina, and Tara. Um, and Josh is talking with them in the Expedia room, and then Latoya comes in a little bit after saying that and Josh is saying that the only people he's pitching to are the three of them, as well as Kiefer, Jed, and Ty, because that is 6 votes, and that would have been what he needed to secure
His safety for the
his
week.
safety. Yeah. And then as soon as Josh leaves, Latoya, we get a little bit of her outside or in the Expedia room, but also in a DR, saying that there is some truth to what Josh is saying. So we do get this like inclination that potentially this vote flip might actually happen, and that maybe Latoya's on board.
Yeah, and you could see the wheels in Tina's head more so than Latoya's. Like, Tina was like, you could tell she was like, this isn't actually an awful plan.
No.
Like, this could work.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, they should have done it because, yeah, I just think that pitch should have been enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of this house playing like pussies.
Yeah, and if you just watch the episodes and you don't watch the feeds, what you will have missed is that the vote flipped about 4 times, I think, before the eviction, and that yesterday morning, Rohan was kind of putting his foot in his mouth for a lot of the day, because I believe he told Tina, I think it was, that if he was going to win HOH, he would nominate some combination of Ty, Jed, and Beth, all of which she was at that point working with.
Yeah.
So I think with the exception of Kyle and maybe Tara, I think it was best for everybody else's games to get out Josh. But apparently what he did on day 3 was so horrendous that they could keep him over Julie Vu, but they can't keep him any longer.
I really would like to know what the fuck happened on day 3. 3, right? It was
3, yeah. Because everyone keeps mentioning this day 3 explosion. Everyone keeps mentioning this day 3 explosion. And
we have no context whatsoever.
None at all. We know Josh blew up.
Which we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah. All we know really is that Josh blew up. We don't know a whole lot. But yeah, and with that, it's time for the vote. Also, I will say Arissa looked great as always.
I really love the shoes.
I love the shoes. It was my least favorite of the dresses she's worn thus far. But
I want to say,
but she still looked good.
It was a cute dress. She looked gorgeous as always. But I don't know, maybe it was like the pattern of the dress that was kind of throwing me.
I think it was the length.
It was kind of messing with my eyes a bit.
Yeah, because Arissa doesn't wear a lot of super short dresses. And so, like, I was confused. You know, the episode's not that entertaining when we start talking in depth about what Arissa's wearing. Oh.
And so we go into the vote and get this iconic moment before the vote where Josh is like, if everyone is playing the game they say they are, then keep me. Thoughts?
Love. He's a quote machine. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He works in television.
You know, all our great TV has been coming from, we're getting the good quote. We got good quotes from Julie Boo.
Yes.
Josh. Now they're gone. Who's going to step up and give us the good quoting?
Probably Victoria.
And then Rohan says, most diverse cast, best cast, developing good relationships, vote with your head. Rohan voting with their head would have meant keeping Josh and getting rid of you. Just saying.
Yeah, and what they didn't do is vote to evict Rohan, because by a unanimous vote, Josh was evicted. I loved his exit line, though, as he was walking out, in a reference to their rap.
Another
blew
great
up the
quote.
House, don't hate me. But now they don't have an end for the rap. So, like, what are they going to do now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who the hell knows? He is hoping for a bloodbath this week, which I am also hoping for, and I think it might happen.
Uh-huh.
And then he's mentioned the large group working together. So one thing him and Julie were they were very, how do I say this?
They were cognizant of what was going on.
They were very aware.
Mm-hmm.
They knew. They could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's other people in the house that aren't aware.
I'll get to that, because I have a lot of thoughts on that.
There's some delusion in the house.
Delusion. Convince yourself.
I'm not convinced.
No.
And then basically we got the goodbye messages, Austin, Beth, and Tara. Tara said something really sweet in her goodbye message that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that like, it was, she said that like, with all the turning it on that you did, I could see who you really were still. And I was like, yes, Tara, you may be ever so slightly boring. You may be ever so slightly boring, but yes, Tara, I love you, Tara. So yes, and then after this,
yeah, that was a cute moment.
Yeah, and after this, we get the announcement: Jordyn, no more teams. Teams are done. Fuck teams for now.
But
for now,
yeah, she didn't say permanently. Mm-hmm. Big Brother Canada will probably throw this in again, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like they had initially planned to keep it a little longer, and it just didn't go how they wanted it to go.
I think they listened to the audience, which is like phenomenal, because
it seems like wanting to give us a good TV.
Period. I love it. Thank you, Arissa. Thank you, producers. Yeah, and then the last thing we get.
One thing I want to mention is I can really see now that Arissa is executive producer, she is making a difference in the production value.
I see it. I see the difference as well. I absolutely do. And I am so happy about it, because we love Arissa. But yeah, so the last thing we get before the end of the episode is the start of the HOH competition. I believe it's called Dream to the Max, because that's what it says on the little ship thing behind where they're all sitting. But there was no
I think it was.
There was no name mentioned by either Max, the OLG guy or Arissa.
The
So like,
okay, so the OLG guy is fucking annoying me.
yeah, I was like, no. But
It's an ad that plays constantly here.
Oh, is
He's
it? I
always
wouldn't
like
know.
going, "What's your dream?
Oh,
What's
I
your
wouldn't
dream?
know.
Dream bigger." Yeah.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, so we're gonna say it's called Dream to the Max. It is a true or false
Classic
elimination comp. We love a good elimination comp. The first 4 people out were Tashawn, Brayden, Beth, and Tara, and we are left on the cliffhanger of Kiefer and Rohan. So yeah, that is the episode for today.
Yeah, that was a interesting episode.
We covered most of it in Wednesday's episode when we talked about the house meeting and the
not
flip.
a lot happened.
Yeah.
Not a lot happened. Now, I do have a few favorites right now that I'm starting to actually really enjoy. But I hate to say it, I feel like the curse of me having favorites has gone into the season because 2 of my favorites have left.
Don't say any of your favorites.
So for the safety of the rest of the house and the rest of my favorites, I am keeping my mouth shut. I'm going to be a neutral person for the rest of the season because I don't want to fuck them over. Like I feel like I am responsible for Josh and Julie leaving.
Not that. But yes, are you ready to get into some live feed spoilers, Jordyn Legacy? Because I am.
Let's talk about this live. So like, I'm kind of glad we waited an extra little day just because I felt like we covered a lot and I wanted it to be at least a decent length, but also as I wasn't feeling great yesterday, so that was also part of it.
So if you don't want live feed spoilers, thank you for watching or listening. Tune out now. Because now we got spoilers. This is nerdtainment. This is a nerdtainment reference. If you know, you know. Spoilers. Shout out to Sarah and David. We love them. My winner pick, Victoria Wog Heron, is head of household. Period. I'm so excited. I'm very excited. If you couldn't tell, I'm very excited. Victoria Supremacy. I will be shouting out my faves. Victoria Supremacy. Period. So yes, if it wasn't already obvious, Victoria is the head of household for the week. I don't know if you know this, Jordyn, but she is the first Black woman to win head of household since La Vida.
Ooh. La Vida was season 3, right?
Season 4.
That's a long time ago.
She is the first.
That's incredible.
That's 5 years. And I'm like, it is about damn time because what Victoria is doing with this head of household is everything. So we last night we got a lot of conversations. And I believe
I wish we could play the clip
of LaToya and
put something
Victoria.
into because I want to put it into context. The conversation made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, so let's outline what is happening. So from what we've seen, I believe nominations have not happened still at this moment.
I think feeds are down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're nominating like right now. The probable noms confirmed as of a few hours ago most likely will be Kiefer and LaToya, with LaToya as the target. And we last night on feeds we did get a conversation between LaToya and Victoria talking. It was the angle that Sparky had it showing was only really showing LaToya, and then we were getting Victoria's voice, obviously. But everything about that conversation seemed as though Latoya was trying to intimidate Victoria, which I don't love per se. Her whole point was like, I didn't come after you. I haven't thrown your name out. But yet when Victoria is asking for a name, she's like, that's none of your business.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable. I kind of felt like Latoya was, I don't want to say bullying because I don't think that's it, but like her body language
Her
was
body,
not
her body language was not it.
She kind of had this like,
yeah, I was not really a big fan of it. I'm really hoping that
this is kind of, it was this.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that. It's shifted every once in a while. I'm really hoping that Kiefer can potentially pull out another veto, or whoever's playing veto. Like, I'm hoping all three players picked for the veto are people that Victoria is now working with, and we'll get there in a hot second. But I love the fact that Victoria is saying, nah, fuck this. Welcome to Big Brother. We're going to play the game. Because going into this week, we really didn't know after Josh was evicted, like it was really just dependent on who wins HOH. Like if someone in the Sunsetters won HOH, like that could have really like shifted the power again. And someone in the new Oddballs Alliance, which I'm loving, probably two of them probably would have gone up. But we do see, mentioning the Oddballs, we do see them forming today on feeds. And this alliance is Rohan, Kyle, Austin, Brayden, and Victoria.
That's an interesting group.
I think and they named it basically because they're not part of the six, even though, and this is something I brought up earlier, and I'm going to bring it here. A lot of them are not confident on who the six is, and I feel like a lot of them think that Tara is in the group and that Kiefer or Beth isn't, when in reality it's not really the case. So for those watching on YouTube, this is the current alliance breakdown courtesy of Razorskate 80. Thank you, Razorskate.
So you can see the sun working together. But this is
yeah.
It's kind of like Victoria just took the spot of
Julie,
the OG dolls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to me. I love this for Victoria in the short term. I don't want to see this alliance make it to Final Five, because if that's the case, Victoria has to win out. So I do really like that Victoria is putting herself in a power position, but I'm hoping that she knows when to shift away from that based on like who else is there. So we're really, the other thing that we're getting as of a couple hours ago is that Tina has basically abandoned the Sunsetters at this point. Like Tina is not really in the alliance. She's still like in the alliance for all intents purposes, but she's pretty playing
middle.
She's really not in the Sunsetters anymore, and now she's kind of playing the middle more so with Tara and to an extent Kiefer, which I do actually really like to see, sort of a 5-on-5 with 2 in the middle, or like a 5-on-4 with 3 in the middle. Like I really do like that dynamic. I fear for Tina putting herself sort of back into a middle playing the middle situation. If she can manage it effectively, then I think it's going to be something that takes her to the end of this game. But I'm hoping that she can either reunite with the Sunsetters as long as like to keep them as shields for herself, or figures out what she wants to do, maybe shifts to the oddballs side, potentially. But yeah, and nominations are probably happening as we speak.
One thing we didn't touch on is the have-nots.
Yes, so have-nots, I believe, are Rohan and Kyle.
Yes, but there are two other ones. I'm just trying to...
I have no clue who the other have-nots are.
Kyle Rowe. I want to say... sorry, I'm scrolling through Twitter. I forgot to write it down when it was told to me. These are currently back, so nominations are probably set.
Okay.
I don't remember now.
Mm.
My Twitter mentions last night, after Josh took over Twitter, his account, which was fast AF. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it absolutely was. But yeah, so we, from what I'm seeing on BB Twitter, also shout out to BB Twitter for all the updates. We love y'all.
Oh, and Josh teased. He teased, when should I spill the beans?
Oh, you know what else I just saw?
Mm.
Julie Vu tweeting 39 minutes ago, guess who I'm about to meet up with? Ooh. Ooh.
I am so glad to hear.
I would be surprised if he's already back in Vancouver. Or back in BC.
They probably had him do press interviews this morning or whatever, and then I
fly
heard
him out.
Whisper. I heard Big Brother kind of changed some times around.
Oh.
And I think maybe that was due to a flight to get him home.
Gotcha. But yes, feeds are back on as of this current moment that we are looking. From
pretty sure that's the nominations.
I'm pretty sure it's Kiefer and LaToya. LaToya does not look happy. But yeah, I don't think we have.
I think that's it.
I think we're good. Yeah, if you've
before we sign off, I want to say formally, I am sorry for cheering you on, Josh and Julie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel responsible. The curse seems to have returned. It was broken for a bit, and now I think it's back. So I'm sorry. We will be back. What is it? Monday night after the episode? We have a special guest. We have a special guest Monday and I believe Thursday as well.
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. The one on Thursday, a lot of y'all probably know
who it is.
We're not going to say who, but she's someone iconic.
She is definitely a piece of BBCAN.
First of her kind, perhaps. And that's all we're going to say because we like being vague.
I love being vague. And I want you guys to guess who in the comments below.
Yes.
Tweet us. Let's get interactive. What were your guys' thoughts on the eviction? Who was gone? What do you guys think is going to happen going forward? And
who do you think is
jazz?
Who do you think is going home this week and why is it LaToya?
I am excited. You know, Julie Vu is probably sitting at home enjoying the show because She doesn't want LaToya there. She doesn't want Josh there. And it looks like they may go back to back.
The only thing that I would be mad about if LaToya does go is that it's 3 queer women or 3 queer people in a row, but like also by LaToya. Like that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, but
with
that's
it.
all, my thoughts on that whole situation, if she does in fact leave, there is a lot of game to play between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
There's a veto. So,
and if we know anything about LaToya thus far, it's that she can game. So I am very, very interested to see what's going to happen between now and Monday. And until then,
we will see you guys.